Part 15. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Ching Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 141. Chapter 141 The house bought for the mistress. After saying that, she didn't have the shame to stay anymore and ran away quickly. Li Junchen saw this and followed her. After Wu Ziyi ran a few hundred meters, she suddenly turned around and said with a sinister look on her face, "Are you also going to tell what happened today?" Li Junchen thought for a while and said with a proud look on his face, "If you marry me obediently, then I can consider not telling anyone." Wu Ziyi knew that she had no choice but to stabilize him first. She could only soften her tone and said, "You know, I still have a younger brother at home. My parents' wish is also to find a rich man who can help me younger brother. I am only 16 this year, and you are still young. It will be many years before I reach the legal age for marriage. If you can bring 500,000 yuan to marry me after I graduate from college, then I will promise you. Parents will agree. If you don't have money, my parents think you can't bring benefits to our family, they probably won't let me marry you even if they sell me to a trafficker." Li Junchen frowned. Obviously he knew what she said was reasonable. Even if Wu Ziyi agreed, her parents would not have an easy time. Wu Ziyi's parents are notoriously dissatisfied with poverty and love for wealth. The rich people in the village act like every time they see them. When people with no money say hello to them, they won't even pay attention to them. After hesitating for a while, he said, "Okay, I promise you, if you give me a few years, I will save enough 500,000 to marry you." Wu Ziyi was relieved for the time being. After He Yuanhui returned home, Qiao Ningxun immediately urged him to take a shower. After washing, He Yuanhui came to Qiao Ningxun's room and sighed, "Sure enough, puppy love is the biggest stumbling block on the road to study. I will never fall in love prematurely in the future. I just wasted a lot of time. I'm going to study." Seeing his cousin leave in a hurry, Qiao Ningxun shook his head helplessly. She opened Dolphin Video, opened the uploaded video, and read the comments inside. "Wow, what happened to the anchor that day was all true. I saw the police report, and I thought it was fake. I also thought it was fake after all, there are too many people making video blogs like this nowadays. I knew it was true at the time, but I was worried that they had accomplices. I didn't expect that the police had already arrested them all. I hope the anchor will be fine in the future. The anchor is also very lucky. If it were me, I would have been scared to death. Yeah, I don't know when the anchor will start broadcasting." The anchor broadcast live twice, and both times were very surprising. Of course, some colleagues were jealous that her video alone had tens of millions of views and warned her in the comment area. "Be careful, anchor, next time you do something like this live, I will kill your whole family." That's right, if you shouldn't live broadcast, don't live broadcast. Be careful of people looking for you. Standing in someone's way of making money is no different than killing your parents, do you understand? Qiao Ningxun raised his eyebrows, but didn't care what they said. After putting on a good disguise, he started the live broadcast directly. Within seconds, the number of people reached thousands, then tens of thousands, then hundreds of thousands. "Wow, I actually saw the anchor today. The anchor has been offline. I thought something happened to the anchor. Looking at the background behind the anchor, could it be that the anchor is live broadcasting at home today? Anchor, take off the mask and show us your face." That's right. Otherwise, if you were at home today, what content could you broadcast live? Where is Zioha? I want to see Zioha. Qiao Ningxun smiled and said, "It is impossible to take off the mask now. I will take it out when it is time. As for the content of today's live broadcast, we will live broadcast fortune telling. Anything can be calculated. 3 times a day, 1 carnival each time. If you are willing, the word fortune telling will be deducted first, and you will pay after I respond." As for Xiaoiche, I won't disturb him if he is sleeping. Sure enough, the purpose of the anchor has been revealed. This is simply a liar. That's right, the two previous live broadcasts were just a way for the anchor to attract popularity. She was able to escape unscathed during the live broadcast of the tomb robbery only because she was lucky. I have been to those fortune-telling live broadcast rooms, and they are all liars. So far, I have not seen anyone who can tell fortunes. Yes, that's right, many fortune tellers are accurate, but they are just nonsense. Qiao Ningxun was not angry when he saw the barrage. Whether I am a liar or not, you will know if you try it. If you have any questions, you can ask me. If you don't give up the money, I will refund it 3 times. 3 times. Come on, everyone, let the anchor go bankrupt and teach her a lesson. That is, you can tell by her voice that she is just a little girl. How can she tell fortunes? I would like to give it a try, but triple compensation is not allowed anyway. If she doesn't pay, we will report her account and accuse her of false advertising, making all her efforts in vain. Then give it a try. If it's accurate, I'll do the math. Happiness every day, fortune telling. Qiao Ningxun smiled and said, "You are happy every day, please pay first." I am so happy every day that I have to play a carnival. Qiao Ningxun connected and was happy every day. After a while, a middle-aged man appeared on the screen, with a row of bookcases behind him, as if he was in a study. Happiness every day, tell me what I do. Where do I work? Where am I now? The specific place must be accurate to the floor and house number. You must not be the one hired by the anchor. This is too easy. If you tell the anchor in advance, the anchor will know. That is, the anchor might as well live broadcast the dog looking for herbs. I am very interested in that one is much more real. Yes, maybe the anchor will encounter some strange things again this time. The anchor's current path is strange. Qiao Ningxun raised her eyebrows and said, "Do you really want me to go into detail? Wouldn't that expose your privacy? Aren't you afraid?" Happiness every day, I'm not afraid, just say it. Qiao Ningxun, then I'm not polite. You run a garment factory and you are considered the director. The garment factory is located in the urban-rural fringe area called Lishan Street in Nanjing City. Although the business is not particularly good, it is profitable. There's enough money for you to spend. I feel happy every day and my face changes. Sharp-eyed water friends immediately bubbled up. It seems that the anchor was right. The acting is not bad, much better than that of some young actors. But I don't feel like I'm acting. I live in Lishan Street. There is indeed a clothing factory there, and business is indeed sometimes good and sometimes bad. Happiness every day, continue. This person must happen to know him, he doesn't believe it, a young girl can really calculate accurately. Qiao Ningxun said, "Okay, let me continue. You are now in the house you bought for your mistress, and the room you are in now is the study of the son who was born to you by your mistress." End of this chapter. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Chen Chen. Chapter 142. The face that looked happy every day suddenly turned into one of extreme horror. Wow, so exciting, no one will say that he is the anchor's support, right? That would be too much of a sacrifice. That is, if the original wife discovers it, it will be miserable. The anchor is so awesome, he can do this. Fortunately, I had no clue just now, otherwise I would be trembling now. Upstairs, now everyone knows that you have a mistress. Qiao Ningxun smiled and said, "I am happy every day. Do you still want me to tell you the name of the community, the floor, and the house number?" I feel happy every day, but I was shocked for a moment and then I came to my senses. This person knew him and knew that those things he did were normal. He decided to continue to be stubborn. Happiness every day. If you don't tell me, you are not Chinese. Qiaoning Suan, you are currently on the 7th floor of Unit 3, Building 5, Warui Community. The house number is 7. Okay, everyday Happy wiped the sweat from his forehead. You don't need to say anything, I know you can tell your fortune accurately. I have something else to do, so I'll leave the broadcast first. What the hell, there are actually people who can tell fortunes. Are there really ghosts and gods in this world? Aren't those all scammers? Isn't it feudal superstition? But before he could finish the live broadcast, his head was suddenly buzzing. People in the live broadcast room saw that they were very happy every day and were suddenly hit on the head by a pile of books. After a while, a very fashionable woman wearing a cheongsam appeared in the live broadcast room. She took the bag in her hand and began to beat and curse her. While beating her, she cursed, "Bitch, I knew you were here. Do you still have human nature? You actually got together with my best friend and gave birth to a son with her. If I hadn't logged into that live broadcast room and happened to visit my best friend again, I don't know how long I would have been deceived by you. Back then, my best friend said that she was abandoned by a scumbag while she was pregnant. I thought she was pitiful and asked you to take more care of her. I didn't expect that the child was actually yours. Every time I visit my best friend, she says how pitiful she is, and I give tens of thousands of New Year's money to her son every year. She failed to start her business, so I lent her money, which was 5 to 6 million yuan. I saw that you didn't mention the money, so I didn't urge her to pay it back. I didn't expect that. I actually raised a white-eyed wolf. Of course you don't want her to pay it back. All the money will be used to support your son. I just said that my best friend, an unemployed single mother, spends money lavishly. It turns out you are the one giving the money. I'll beat you to death, you disgusting cheater, I'll beat you to death. Every day I am happy. After all, he is a man. After being hit a few times, he started to fight back. With a slap, the fashionable woman's head hit the bookcase. The fashionable woman turned her head, and the fans in the live broadcast room saw that her forehead was broken, and blood instantly stained half of her face. Oh my God, there's so much blood. It's so scary that I'm going to faint. The fashionable woman cried, "You scumbag, you actually domestically abused me." After finishing speaking, she laughed again. "Fortunately, I beat that just now, and I am not at a loss either, haha. Happiness every day. What did you do to Rower?" Fashionable woman, "I don't know. When I came in, I took her off guard and hit her on the head. I also beat her on the head. There was blood all over the floor. I guess everyone has gone to now." He was happy every day and suddenly collapsed. "I'll kill you." After saying that, he began to beat the fashionable woman again. "You can't give birth to a son, so it's okay to make me lose face. Now you dare to make me cut off my descendants, so don't blame me for being rude. I'm going to kill you, kill you." He still felt uncomfortable just beating someone, so he took the knife next to him and stabbed the fashionable woman in the stomach. All the water friends in the live broadcast room now knew that being happy every day was not a pretense, and they all spoke. "Anchor, since you know the house number, please call the police immediately. That is, call the police quickly. If it were too late, someone would be killed." Listening to what they said, I always felt that someone had been killed. Could it be that both the mistress, mother, and son are dead? "Qiaoning Suan, don't worry, the police will be here soon." Sure enough, as soon as she finished speaking, other voices came from the live broadcast room. "Police, don't move. If you move again, you will be shot, don't move. I feel happy every day." I suddenly woke up and dropped the knife in my hand to the ground. When I looked at the live broadcast room, my face suddenly turned pale. Every move he made just now was actually broadcast live. A young female police officer stepped forward and helped the fashionable lady up. When the fashionable lady saw the police coming, she laughed and said, "God is wise, the police are here. If you didn't beat me to death today, I want a divorce. I want you to leave the house and leave you in poverty." I was very happy every day and was soon arrested by the police. I said anxiously, "Police, go and see the women and children outside." She just said that she beat them up. Now she doesn't know whether she is alive or dead. The young policewoman said, "They all just fainted. It's you who are in trouble. Someone is accusing you of intentional homicide. Please come with us." Happiness every day. I can leave, but that has to leave too. She beat my child. The young female police officer said, "Don't worry, we will all be missing." Chiao-Ning-sun cut off the happy connection every day, and said, "Now you should understand that what I said is true, right? There are still 2 places today. If you need it, hurry up and use the word fortune telling. Unfortunately, I am doing okay and have nothing to settle. Anchor, when I save enough money, I will ask you to tell your fortune. My financial ability does not allow me to deduct those 2 words. Trying to be a loving father immediately gets the word fortune telling." Chiao-Ning-sun smiled and said, "Congratulations on being a loving father. Please pay first. Strive to be a loving father and immediately get a carnival." Chiao-Ning-sun also accepted his connection application, and a middle-aged man appeared in the camera. Seeing that the connection was successful, the middle-aged man immediately sat up straight. "Chiao-Ning-sun, try to be a loving father, what do you want to settle?" Trying to be a loving father, he said anxiously, "I want to ask, where is my daughter?" "Looking for your daughter? Has the child been lost?" "Maybe, or maybe he was abducted. It's so pitiful, I can even see the dark circles under his eyes. Indeed, people are very haggard." Trying to be a loving father, my daughter is 6 years old this year. My family lives on the 4th floor. It is an old community with no elevator. She used to be able to take out the garbage alone. Yesterday, I also let her take out the garbage by herself. She used to go down to take out the garbage. Trash, she will definitely be back within 5 minutes. But after she went out yesterday afternoon, she never came back. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Ching Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 143. As he spoke, he also started to cry. "I gave birth to this daughter in my 30s, and my wife died giving birth to her. We, father and daughter, depend on each other. I cherish her very much. If she is gone, I don't want to live anymore." Chiao-Ning-sun counted with his fingers, and then looked at the face of the man who was trying to be a loving father. "Did you call the police?" "Strive to be a loving father, no, I saw a movie and it said that if a child is lost, you have to wait 24 hours before calling the police. From yesterday to now, the child has been lost for more than 10 hours. Movies are really harmful. If you lose your child, you should call the police immediately." "Yes, my child was missing for 10 minutes last time. I called the police and found her in the barber shop. Fortunately, the police were called early, otherwise the traffickers would have changed their identities, and it would have been troublesome to find him." "That's right, call the police immediately. Don't believe everything in the movie. Don't you even watch the news?" Trying to be a loving father, he suddenly panicked. "Then I'll call the police now." "Chiao-Ning-sun, no need, I've already called the police for you. There is a police station near you. The police officers are probably at the door now. Go over and open the door." Trying to be a loving father, "Then do you know where my daughter is?" "Chiao-Ning-sun, I know, don't worry, she is still alive, but she will be taken out in another hour." Trying to be a loving father, I nodded quickly. When I heard a knock on the door, I quickly opened the door, and sure enough I saw two policemen at the door. I'll go, the anchor also figured out where to live as a loving father. It seems that the anchor is too powerful. Forget it, I'd better not connect casually. I'll lose my privacy accidentally. Trying to be a loving father, he briefly explained his situation to the police, pointed to his mobile phone and said, "It was this anchor who helped me call the police. She knows where my daughter is." The two policemen frowned at the same time. This man must have lost his child and was deceived again. Chiaoning Suan, two policemen, please follow him to room 102 on the first floor. Trying to be a loving father, he didn't hesitate at all and ran directly to the first floor, not even bothering to close the door. Is his daughter actually always in the same building with him? Oh my God, people are still in the community. Is this human trafficker too bold to hide a person under the nose of someone else's father? Lawless, human traffickers are simply lawless. Two policemen saw him running away without looking back. One of them closed the door for him, and the other quickly chased after him. Coming to the door of room 102, he tried his best to be a loving father and said nervously, "What should I do now? Will knocking on the door alert others and threaten my daughter's safety?" Chiaoning Suan, no, you can just knock on the door. Trying to be a loving father immediately knocks on the door. After a while, an old woman in her 60s opened the door. The old woman opened the door and her heart skipped a beat when she saw the person coming. Trying to be a loving father, he said angrily, "Where did you hide my daughter?" The old woman turned pale and did not dare to speak. Chiaoning Suan, go directly to the bathroom and open the ceiling. Your daughter will be on top. Trying to be a loving father, he pushed the old woman away and ran to the bathroom. A policeman followed closely behind him, while another policeman stood at the door to prevent the old woman from escaping. Came to the bathroom, tried to be a loving father and stood on the toilet, put the phone in his mouth, stretched out his hand to buckle a buckle, and one hand fell from it. The heart of trying to be a loving father suddenly rose. He put his head into the ceiling. When he saw his daughter, he continued to remove the buckle. Then while holding the child down, he said, "My daughter, my daughter." The comatose daughter hung her cell phone on her chest and cried loudly, "Tian Tian, wake up, wake up." Another police officer saw that the child was found and quickly went to other rooms to look and found a middle-aged man who was very drunk. The middle-aged man was sleeping soundly when he felt someone tugging on him and woke up immediately. As soon as he woke up, he saw that his hands were handcuffed. The middle-aged man looked horrified and said, "You, what are you doing? Why are you arresting me?" Another policeman escorted the old woman over. The old woman cried and said, "Son, I told you not to do such a thing. Look, they found us so quickly. We are finished." Hearing this, the middle-aged man lowered his head in frustration. Trying to be a loving father, when he saw that his daughter was still awake, he asked worriedly, "What's wrong with her?" Chiaoning Suan, don't worry, she just took sleeping pills. She should be able to wake up at night. If you are really worried, you can go to the hospital for a checkup. Trying to be a loving father, yes, let's go to the hospital. At the same time he cut off the connection. The police also took the prisoner away. Although the people in the live broadcast room didn't see the specific situation just now, they also knew that everything Chiaoning Sun said was true. "Anchor, you are really amazing, you can even figure out where your children are." The anchor's merits are immeasurable, otherwise their father and daughter's lives would be ruined. The anchor is the most accurate fortune teller I have ever seen. Anchor, can you calculate what will happen next? Yeah, I want to know why those two traffickers stole the child yesterday and didn't transport it out in time. Chiaoning Suan, it was not shipped out in time yesterday. That's because as a loving father, I spent the whole night looking for the child downstairs. Some kind people helped him search. They were afraid of meeting someone who was looking for him, so they didn't go out. The middle-aged man was so happy that he had another child. Seeing that he couldn't go out for a while, he went back to the house to drink. The old woman went upstairs this morning and was trying to be a loving father. She was about to wake up her son, but she didn't expect it. Before I could even take the child out, he came to the door. So that's it. Fortunately, I worked hard to be a loving father and spent the whole night looking for the child last night, thanks to him. That is, he really loves children. Xiaoning Xuan, go on, there is still one spot left today, and I will end the show after that. Tian Tianxin immediately added the word fortune telling. Xiaoning Xuan, please pay first if you are happy every day. Happily complete a carnival every day. Xiaoning Xuan was happy to be online every day, and a girl about 20 years old appeared in the live broadcast room. Happy every day, hello everyone, I am happy every day. Xiaoning Xuan, what do you want to do? Happy every day, I want to know whether the child in my belly is a boy or a girl. Xiaoning Xuan, I won't do anything illegal. Let me make it clear to everyone in the live broadcast room here. I won't do anything illegal, I won't do anything that violates morality, and I won't do anything that will cause the account of the live broadcast room to be banned. Next time if I encounter this kind of problem again, I will cut off the connection directly. Today is the first time. If you don't know my rules, I will give you another chance and ask another question. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 144. Tian Tian happy, that's it, I'm sorry, then I want to know, can my child be born smoothly? Xiaoning Sun counted with her fingers, there is no child in your belly at all. The live broadcast room suddenly became excited. No kids. Is this person faking her pregnancy? No. Is there anyone these days who fakes pregnancy like Gongdaja to win a man's heart? Things are weird. I think if this woman knew that she was fake to be pregnant and the anchor just showed off her tricks, she would not dare to ask her whether the child is a boy or a girl. I agree with the above. Tian Tian Kaixin said with a horrified look on his face, it's impossible. I am indeed pregnant, and it's already been 3 months. My menstrual period has indeed not come during this period, and I took the test myself, and it was indeed 2 bars. I also went for a checkup and the doctor said I was indeed pregnant. Xiaoning Xuan, you must have been drinking some kind of medicine recently. Happy every day, yes, my mother-in-law said that drinking it can help you get pregnant quickly and give birth to a son. I also want a son, so I drank it obediently. Xiaoning Xuan, that kind of medicine is the medicine that allows you to delay your menstrual period. The last test you took was probably with your husband. It was easy for him to do anything. And the hospital you went to was just a small hospital. The hospital, the doctor who performed the examination, was also bribed by your husband. Happy every day, no way, I can't be falsely pregnant. I even have morning sickness these days. I also like to eat sour food, and my appetite is much better than before. Xiaoning Xuan, it's all because of the medicine you drank. Tian Tian happy, then why does my husband want me to fake a pregnancy? Xiaoning Xuan, you are an only child, and your parents are gone. Fortunately, you still have an aunt. Before your aunt asked you to get married, you must have a betrothal gift and a banquet. Your boyfriend also knew it, but he didn't want to give it to you, so he designed a fake pregnancy for you. He told you that you were pregnant and it was difficult to hold a banquet, otherwise something would happen to the child. You were also worried about the child, so you agreed. Later, your boyfriend said that you already have children, so you should get married as soon as possible to avoid others saying that you had children out of wedlock. You think he is right. You asked your boyfriend for a bride price. Your boyfriend knew that you were new to the world and believed in him, so he said he would give it to you after the baby was born. You agreed and got your marriage certificate last week. If it is true as the anchor said, this is obviously a marriage fraud. Yes, Tian Tian Kai is still young when I look at my age, and I have met an old Yashao. It's so miserable. I was deceived into getting married and having a child. But I heard that if you are deceived into a marriage, you can apply to cancel the marriage registration, so that if she gets married again in the future, it will still be regarded as the first marriage. Many men are scheming. Sisters who are not married in the live broadcast room should really be careful. Yes, most men are unreliable, isn't there a saying? If a man is reliable, a sow will climb a tree. Upstairs, I'm not that kind of man. How about we give it a try? Hey, wouldn't it be a good idea to borrow someone else's live broadcast room to find a partner? Tian Tian Kaiksen looked unbelieving. No, my husband will not lie to me. He is really nice to me. He always greets me and gives me his salary card to spend as I please. Qiaoning Suan, you know very well whether he lied to you. You have also noticed it, because since you received the marriage certificate, your mother-in-law's attitude towards you has not been as good as before. As for the salary card, he has a monthly salary card. The salary is only 5,000. Look at the bill for yourself. Did he take away 7,000 from you last month? If you still don't believe it, go to the hospital and get it checked. Tian Tian was startled when she was happy, and quickly took out her phone to check. Sure enough, she had transferred a total of 7,000 WeChat messages last month. Not only did her husband fail to support the family, he actually asked her for money. After thinking for a while, she no longer hesitated, immediately got up, closed the door, took her cell phone and went to a nearby hospital. This person is so stupid. She thought that others gave her a salary card because she liked her, but little did she know that she was being treated as a cash machine. Yeah, I won't get married, I just support myself. It's so miserable that you have to support your husband after getting married. My ex-husband was like this too. He gave me all his money, and when he had no money he would ask me for it. When the accounts were settled at the end of the month, he actually took away more than half of my salary. Upstairs, I really sympathize with you. If the money goes into my pocket, I don't want it, and no one will think of me taking it out. Tian Tian Kaiksen kept watching the barrage after the checkup, feeling extremely uncomfortable. It turns out that there are so many people like her who are being used as cash machines. After waiting for more than 10 minutes, she finally checked. After waiting for a while, she left the hospital in despair. Her live broadcast room was always open. Even though the hospital was not allowed to broadcast live just now, she put her mobile phone in her bag, and the people in the live broadcast room clearly heard what the doctor said. Anchor, you are right again, you are so awesome. Anchor, can you add another spot today? I have been waiting and watching just now, and now I want to do the math. Don T argue, I want to see how Tian Tianxin handles the matter with her husband. As soon as I returned home happily every day, I saw that my husband was back. Thinking of the doctor's words, she couldn't help but ask, why did you lie to me? The man asked doubtfully, I lied to you? What did you lie to? Baby, are you unhappy today? I'll buy you some delicious food, okay? You can transfer 200 yuan to me, and I'll buy it? Tian Tian cried happily, in order not to give you a gift or hold a banquet, you actually lied to me and made me think I was pregnant. I have been acting like a fool these days, talking to a child that does not exist. To be honest, it makes me laugh. The man's expression changed. You know everything. Yes, that's right, I know everything. I also know that you treat me as a cash machine and let me take care of money on purpose. In fact, you just want to get more money from me. The man was a little embarrassed and said, no, I don't have that idea. I don't believe you, I don't believe you anymore. Tian Tian happily returned to the house and started to pack things, then threw all the things out, and then pushed the scumbag out. This is my house, we are getting divorced, you immediately get out of here, I will find a lawyer to sue you for fraud, just wait for the court summons. After saying that, she closed the door. Oh my God, you actually live in the woman's house? Scumbag man doesn't even have a house? No wonder I don't want to hold a banquet and give a bride price. I am so lucky to be happy every day, I met the anchor so early. That is, if she really gets pregnant in the future, she will be in a sea of misery for the rest of her life. Tian Tian Kaiksen asked, Anchor, I would like to ask, will my divorce be smooth in the future? Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 145. Qiaoning Sun, of course you will. You will meet your true love again in the future. This person is not your lover. Tian Tian happy suddenly breathed a sigh of relief, rewarded another carnival, and broadcast it. Qiaoning Sun, okay, today's 3 opportunities have been used up. See you next time. Anchor, when will you start broadcasting next? Qiaoning Sun, the next broadcast time is uncertain. I still have a lot of things to deal with in real life, but I will broadcast it live when I have time. You can click and follow to know about my live broadcast as soon as possible. After saying that, she stopped talking nonsense and quickly went off the broadcast regardless of the fact that there were already more than 100,000 people in the live broadcast room. She is reluctant to give up such a high popularity, she has just made a name for herself. But money must be earned and spent. Qiaoning Sun stretched her waist, and someone also gave her a reward while she was telling her fortune. Including the 4 carnivals given by those 3 people, excluding the platform share, I earned 10,000 yuan after sitting for 2 hours. Not bad, 2 hours can equal a day's turnover of Trader Joe's. Seeing her family members coming back one after another, she also went down, planning to help cook. It's just that there are several people following Qiao Kongsheng. After Qiaoning Sun went down, those people immediately knelt down for her. What are you doing? Get up quickly, I'm still young and can't bear it. Qiao Kongsheng was also startled by them. When he was walking back just now, he saw the Guan family and the Lu family carrying things behind him. He didn't think much about it and thought they were on the way with him. Unexpectedly, they followed him directly into the yard. Without waiting for his reaction, the granddaughter came down, and they knelt down in front of her again. Qiao Kongsheng said anxiously, get up quickly, you are all older than Ningxun, this will shorten Ningxun's life. The Guan and Lu families had no choice but to get up. Guan Shu, he said with a smile, Ningxun, we are here this time to thank you. Since my wife was treated by you and insists on taking your medicine, he has never gotten sick once, and his health is getting better and better the better, I feel energetic every day. Zhong Qiling said gratefully, my child, thank you for saving me. I can clearly feel it every day, and my spirit is getting clearer day by day. During this time, I have done a lot of things for my family, and my family does not have to worry about it anymore. You take good care of me and your family can earn a lot more every year. Thank you very much. Guan Qinfu said, Ningxun, your medical skills are really superb. These things are our sincere thoughts. Please accept them. Qiao Ningxun took a look at those things, 2 hens, 2 ducks, 2 geese, and 2 gift boxes. She did not refuse and said with a smile, congratulations to Grandma Guan, I will accept these things. Qiao Kongsheng quickly took the things and put them aside. The Lu family also stepped forward. Lu Fuxiang also smiled and said, Ningxun, after my son was treated by you last time, he listened to your words and took medicine obediently, massaged every day, and practiced walking. Now he can really walk like a normal person, better than you said. Yes, It's 2 months ahead of schedule. Lu Kaishan walked a few steps and said, Ning Xuan, uncle, thank you very much. I didn't expect that I could actually stand up in a short time after being paralyzed for so many years. You are the savior of our family and you have also changed our family's future. After saying that, he also put the things in front of Jiaoning Xuan. This is also the wish of my uncle's family. Please accept it. I know this gift is very light, but I will repay you slowly in the future. Jiaoning Xuan glanced at Lu Kaishan's legs and said with a face filled with relief, there is no need for repayment. We are all from the same village, so we should help each other. If we keep exercising for a while, we can run away in the future. Lu Kaishan nodded, well, I will work hard to train. After speaking, he looked at his two sons, Lu Yufeng, Lu Yuhao, kowtowed to sister Ningxun quickly. Both children knew that Jiao Ningxun was a great benefactor to their family and kowtowed obediently. Jiao Ningxun didn't stop him this time. She cured Lu Kaishan and indeed changed the fate of these two children. She can bear the kowtow of a child. After they finished kowtowing, she helped the two of them up. From now on, I will study well, go to a school in the city, and work hard to be a useful person to my family and society, you know. The two of them nodded heavily at the same time. Lu Kaishan solemnly said, Ning Xuan, although you are my junior, I still want to say that you are my reborn parent. Your medicine is very effective, and I can't use it in vain. You even gave me an injection. I don't know. How much does it cost? Zhong Qiling also said, yes, how much are the consultation fees and medicine fees in total? We also came here specially to pay this time. Jiao Ningxun thought about it and said, there is no need for the consultation fee, but those medicines are indeed precious and they are all wild, so they are so effective. It takes time and energy to make them into pills, so just give them, yes, but externally, say this. Zhong Qiling disapproved and said, Ning Xuan, is this too little? How can their illness be cured for just a few hundred yuan if they go to the hospital? Lu Kaishan also said, yes, if our disease goes to the hospital, it won't be cured even if we spend tens of thousands of dollars. Jiao Ningxun didn't take it seriously and said, your illness can be cured just by advertising it to me. If possible, go out for a walk more often in the future. With your illness, going out for a walk is also good for your health, so you can come to me for treatment in the future. There are more people and I can make more money. These two people are her walking advertisements. The Guan and Lu families suddenly realized that this was indeed possible. After giving the money and talking for a while, it was lunchtime. Chiao Kongsheng originally wanted to stay with them for lunch, but they didn't want to trouble Lao Chiao's family, so they left one after another. Lu Kaishan was also seen by many people when he walked directly from home just now. He has been practicing walking at home before, and this is the first time he goes out after he can stand up. When he came over, many villagers couldn't believe their eyes and thought they had recognized the wrong person. After all, Lu Kaishan had been lying at home for many years. His skin was whiter than that of ordinary people, and he looked much older than he had been many years ago. During those years, he rarely saw outsiders. Some people who are not familiar with him have forgotten his original appearance. Seeing Lu Kaishan coming out of Lao Chiao's house, with people from the Lu family beside him, some curious people gathered around him. One person asked curiously, Fuxiang, is this a deep opening? Yes, that's my son, Lu Kaishan. Everyone was shocked. Isn't Lu Kaishan disabled for life? The man asked again, can he stand up? Lu Fuxiang said with a smile, yes, he stood up. Lu Kaishan said, it's me. After a month of treatment, I've gotten better. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Ching Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 146. Everyone was immediately surprised. Can I stand up after 1 month of treatment? Then you have met a miracle doctor, please tell me who cured you. Yes, didn't I hear that you would never be able to stand up in your life? Tell me about it. When my old problem attacks, it hurts so much that I can't sleep, it's killing me. And me, it's too expensive to go to the hospital. If private doctors have good medical skills, I can save a lot of money. Yes, how much did you spend on the treatment in total? For a time, everyone rushed to ask Lu Kaishan to introduce the doctor to them. The person who saw Qiao Ningxun treating the patient at Guan's house that day was also there. Seeing that Zhong Qiling was here, and thinking that the Guan family had just gone to Lao Qiao's house with gifts, one person was surprised and said, "That doctor, could it be Qiao Ningxun? And Zhong's illness was really cured by her." Before leaving Lao Qiao's house just now, Qiao Ningxun told them that if anyone asked, tell the truth, they wouldn't be embarrassed, and she would be able to make more money in the future. Lu Kaishan said seriously, "It was indeed Ningxun who cured me. She taught herself ancient medicine and her medical skills are very good. My parents also took her medicine and they didn't get sick much in the past month. My legs also, I didn't suffer much. She gave me an injection, took her medicine, and then I stood up with more practice, as she said." Zhong Qiling also said, "Yes, Ningxun gave me a few injections and took her medicine for a month. I haven't gotten sick recently. During this time, I helped the family with a lot of work and raised a few more children. A pig can help increase the family's income by at least several thousand yuan every year." Others were very surprised. "Ningxun is so powerful, are her fees expensive?" "Yes, the higher the medical skills, the more expensive the charges. I'm really afraid that I can't afford it." "Is Ningxun like the doctors in the city who only care about making money?" Lu Kaishan said, "Ningxun's medical skills are high, so it's normal for her to charge high prices. She said that if you want to see her for medical treatment, she has several conditions. First, the hospital can treat the disease, and the cost is less than 200,000. If it is cured, she will not save it. If it costs more than 200,000 yuan to cure, she can save it. Secondly, if the parents are not at fault but they are not filial to their parents, they will not save them. Thirdly, they have bad intentions. Fourth, she doesn't save people she doesn't want to save." Zhong Qiling said, "In view of the conditions she mentioned, the patients she accepts are all difficult patients, so she charges no matter adults or children. The starting price is 3,000, and the specific amount depends on her mood. If she's in a good mood, she might get 3,000, but if she's in a bad mood, it might be 100,000 or 200,000, there's no upper limit." Lu Kaishan added, "While she is in Daguo village, she has to study every day, help with household chores, and make money, so she can save at most 2 people, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. If she is studying, you are not allowed to go to school to find her. She has time to save. People will put a sign at the door. If there are no places available that day, there will be a sign at the door. If it shows that there are no places, no moral kidnapping is allowed." Guan Qinfu said, "Ningxun also said that if someone is really in an emergency, such as a disease that requires immediate treatment and will die if delayed for 1 minute, she can make an exception for the treatment, but she still has to pay. But if someone deliberately pretends to be sick to get medical treatment, then not only him, but all his relatives will not be treated by her." Everyone frowned at the same time. It doesn't help either this or that, so why should she study medicine? For fun? Aren't those who study medicine just to save people? She is indeed still a child, arrogant, as if she thinks others cannot do without her. But Zhong Qiling was really completely awake. It had been years since she had heard her say so many words directly. In the past, her sentences did not exceed 5 words. Some villagers were immediately dissatisfied. They are all from the same village. Chiao Ningsun has gone too far. Just like those barefoot doctors in the past, wouldn't it be enough to just charge some token money? Yes, our diseases can be cured in some hospitals, but it costs a lot of money to make people suffer. Since she can cure her, why can't she help us? That's right, many people's diseases need to be cured, which will cost a lot of money and drag down the whole family. Yes, Chiao Ningsun is too selfish. She also made a fortune from deguation, so why doesn't she know how to give back to the village? God gave her such good medical skills just to help the world. Lu Hehua and others also expressed disapproval. Part of Chiao Ningsun's rules are to restrict them. Even those who are not filial to their parents have been filial to them. The old couple insisted on raising He Yuan Yang and He Yuan Hui. How could they use their own money to support other people's children? Their own children are short of money. Although they are not sick now, they just have occasional headaches and colds, but they are not sure whether they will get any terminal illness when they get older. The village chief has been listening silently from a distance. Hearing the shameless words of those people, he couldn't help but said, "Every one of you, please don't be so self-righteous." Everyone was stunned and looked around, seeing the village chief coming, and quickly made room for him. The village chief spoke righteously, "Don't overlook it. Chiao Ningsun is still a student. She must focus on her studies. She is only 16 years old and she has to read every day. Her conditions are not excessive at all. For diseases that can be cured in the hospital, you all come to her, and you don't let her charge any money. If the disease is cured in the future, if you talk about it, countless people will come to her. The hospital can't make money, and the people in those hospitals are the first he doesn't like her and makes trouble for her. The threshold of 200,000 is not too high if you are really sick, you can borrow it from many people. Don't think about taking advantage of a child every day. You are already a lot older, aren't you ashamed? What do you do to save people who are unfilial to their parents? Are they saved and allowed to continue to teach their parents? Why should we save people with evil intentions? Should we save them and let them take revenge on society? Be careful that after they recover, they will be the first to chop you with a knife. She does not make a career out of saving people. Saving 2 people every day is already too much. Why are you going to find others when others are in school? For your own illness and to save money, if others are in class, you go to her rashly. Wouldn't it delay the learning progress of dozens of teachers and students? She is not a doctor in a hospital. No one pays her a salary and no one restricts her. Of course she can save whoever she wants. Those of you who just spoke, when He Yuan Yang got leukemia, don't think that I didn't know that other people's families were in such difficulty, and other families were raising money for their families with $50 or $100. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 147. Chapter 147. Chiu Suying. It's just you. Not only did you not give me $1, but you also made sarcastic remarks, saying that Lao Chiao's family had done too many bad things and that their character was not good. You also said that He Yuan Yang wouldn't survive even if he had surgery. It was a waste of money. I might as well give you flowers. There are worse things than this, anyway. You curse other people's families like this, and of course they don't want to save you. Why? You are allowed to treat others badly, and others must treat you well. Some people were so shocked that they couldn't even lift their heads. Lu Hehua said dissatisfiedly, then we are Chiao Ningsun's relatives, so she can't treat us like that. She is like disowning all her relatives. You don't recognize your relatives. Guan Qinfu was unhappy. You 3 sisters-in-law forced other people's sons not to support their parents. Don't you know what you did to Ningsun's mother in the past few years? Let Ningsun's mother live before you are so miserable, and now you want someone else's daughter to treat you. Why are you so thick-skinned? Guan Yiwen nodded in agreement. That's right, that's right. Lu Hehua and her sister-in-law suddenly blushed and did not dare to say another word. The village chief glanced at them and snorted, I'm going to put my words here today. Ningxun is so capable. That is a blessing to our village and is beneficial to everyone. If you want to see her for treatment, please prepare money for me first. If anyone dares to trouble her, use moral kidnapping to force her to save people, or refuse to pay for treatment, then don't blame me for taking the decision and drive him out of the village. Some people looked stern and immediately gave up their feelings about Xiaojiju. The village chief glanced at them and continued, okay, you can weigh your own illness. The starting price of Ningxun is 3,000. Maybe your illness requires a checkup in the hospital and you will suffer a little. It won't cost 3,000. There are many minor problems. Even if you have to be hospitalized, you still have rural medical insurance. After reimbursement, it won't cost 3,000. Whether you want to allow Qiao's family a favor or go to the hospital obediently, think about it yourself. I'll leave first. It was lunchtime. Seeing this, everyone else also went back. You have to think about it, and you have to fill your stomach before you can think about it. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Qiao Ningxun controlled the body temperature and went to inspect the fields and orchards. Of course there are no people in the field now. It's summer now, and sometimes the weather is so hot that people have to work under the scorching sun. She really can't do that kind of thing. With her current spiritual power, it is still difficult to control the temperature of so many people for a long time. Therefore, although she established an 8-hour work system, as long as it was not particularly busy, she only required the villagers to work a total of 8 hours. For example, the weather is unbearably hot at 10:30 in the morning. Then they can all start working at 6 in the morning, and by the time they reach 10:30, they have already worked for 4.5 hours. If you work for half an hour in the middle, you can take a 5-minute break, which is also considered working time. The weather is even hotter in the afternoon, so they can start working at 3:30 and finish at 7 o'clock, which is a total of 3.5 hours, with half an hour of work in between, but a 10-minute break is also considered working time. In this way, the morning and afternoon are added together, and the total is 8 hours. There is a total of 5 hours of rest time at noon. They can take good care of the children and the elderly at home, and even have a few hours of nap time themselves. If she needs to work overtime, she will give her overtime wages in accordance with national regulations. Although on the surface it seems that they did get up very early in the morning and it was a bit hard. But they take care of their own vegetables. In summer, it is common to get up at 4 or 5 o'clock to work in the fields in order not to be exposed to the sun for a long time. In order to save electricity at night, it is normal for everyone to go to bed around 9 o'clock. In other words, they have the same schedule every summer. Of course, if the temperature exceeds 35 degrees that day, she asks everyone to rest after doing it in the morning and not to do it in the afternoon. If something goes wrong with the heat, she will be the one spending the money. Seeing that the fruits and vegetables in the field were growing at the speed she planned, Qiao Ningxun returned home. When we arrived at the door of our house, the village chief and his wife Qiu Suying were already waiting at the door. Qiao Ningxun was not surprised either. In her previous life, she woke up after being in a coma for 3 years. The village chief's wife had passed away due to an accident. As a result, the village chief had aged 10 years overnight. The village chief's wife also grew up with Jiao Kongshen, and she is also very kind. When He Yuanyang was diagnosed with leukemia, the village chief's wife even went to other villages to mobilize relatives and donated some money to He Yuanyang. When the village chief saw Qiao Ningxun coming back, he stepped forward very embarrassed. Ningxun, I really don't want to trouble you, but your grandma Qiu really has no choice. She saw many doctors and spent a lot of money, but there is no way to cure it. Qiu Suying smiled and said, Ningxun, I'm sorry to bother you. Xiaoningsun glanced at her eyes, nodded, and invited them to sit in the pavilion. The village chief hurriedly placed the various test reports from the hospital that his wife had gone to before on the table. She took out the medicine box, prepared the tools, and while reading the report, asked, "Grandma Chiu, tell me about your condition." Chiu Suiying said slowly, "It's like this. My eyes were originally normal, but I accidentally fell down a few years ago. Since then, my vision has gotten worse and worse, but it doesn't affect my normal life. Until the past 2 years, I couldn't see at all. I went to the hospital. The doctor said that there was some congestion that was compressing the nerves. I should go there early. But I went late. There is too much congestion now. If I need surgery, the risk is very high and I will most likely not be able to get off the operating table. I am advised to use acupuncture and herbal medicine. It's just that I have been cooperating with doctors for treatment, but it has no effect at all. Instead, I have spent tens of thousands of money. The village chief heard that you could cure diseases, so he brought me here to try it. I don't ask to be like a normal person, as long as I can see things, even if it's blurry, then I can live alone without having to trouble people to watch over me. She has bad eyesight, and she doesn't dare to hold or take care of her grandchildren, for fear that something will happen to them." Xiaoningsun nodded, "I see, you stretch out your hand and I'll feel your pulse." Chiu Suiying obediently stretched out her hand, and the village chief adjusted her position. After a while, Xiaoningsun looked at Chiu Suiying's head again and said seriously, "Don't worry, I can cure it. It's no problem to see the light again." The village chief and Chiu Suiying were overjoyed at the same time. The village chief asked, "Ningxun, how much do you think it will cost to cure it?" Considering that the village chief and his grandfather have been good friends since childhood and have been kind to each other in the past, Xiaoningsun doesn't intend to charge too much. "Let's just start at the starting price, 3,000 is enough." End of this chapter. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 148. Chapter 148. The eighth sentence. The village chief immediately understood that she was giving a friendly price, and quickly put 3,000 cash on the table. "Then I'll trouble you. If you go to the hospital, the fees for various examinations are estimated to be several thousand." Xiaoningsun collected the money, took out the disposable acupuncture needle, and asked Chiu Suiying to lie on the simple bed next to her. She had prepared this a long time ago, and she would use the pavilion as her consulting room from now on. She did not use the silver needles she bought before for acupuncture needles. After learning that acupuncture needles are now disposable, she also changed them to disposable ones. Destroy it in front of the patients after use, lest they think that she reused it or that they got sick because of her acupuncture needles. Xiaoningsun quickly injected Chiu Suiying with acupuncture, and while injecting the acupuncture, she circulated spiritual power on her head, activating her blood circulation, dispersing blood stasis, and liberating her nerves. When she felt that she was about the same, she took off the acupuncture needle and asked Chiu Suiying to sit up. Xiaoningsun asked them to wait for a moment. She went upstairs to grab some herbs and gave them a bottle of medicine. "There are 7 medicines here. You can take these medicines back and boil 4 bowls of water into 1 bowl of water," she said. "After boiling it once, add a pill of medicine in the bottle and drink it once a day at noon for a week. After 7 days, Grandma Chiu's sight will slowly recover. Of course, you can slowly see light during this period. If your eyes have not seen light for so long, it will definitely irritate your eyes at first. Therefore, it is best not to go out in the past few days, and the light should not be too bright at home, so as not to affect recovery." "I have remembered everything and will do everything you say," the village chief nodded. Chiu Suiying smiled and said, "Although I can't see with my eyes yet, I feel that my head is much more comfortable now and it doesn't hurt at all. I used to have headaches every day." Jiaoningsun said, "It's normal to have a headache if you have congestion on your head. You will also get a headache if you don't get enough sleep. You should get more rest in the future." "Okay, I'll listen to you." After seeing the two of them off, Jiaoningsun hung a sign at the door that read, "We have received patients this afternoon. Patients who need medical treatment will arrive at the door on time at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I will choose those who meet the conditions for careful treatment." The rest of the time, Jiaoningsun either went to the mountains to collect herbs or make medicines, as well as the books in the study space and her studies. Although she could calculate who would come in advance and prepare medicine in advance, it was a pity to waste an opportunity to make money by fortune telling, so she gave up. At 4 o'clock in the morning the next day, Jiaoningsun was sitting cross-legged in the ancient tree ditch. He suddenly opened his eyes and quickly opened the book on cultivating immortals. This time he unlocked the 8th sentence of the formula, perspective. Jiaoningsun quickly wrote down the formula and tried to use it. Although there were flowers, plants and trees in front of her, she could clearly see the scene behind the big tree through the big tree. This ability is quite good. If used on patients, she doesn't need to feel their pulse. She can tell what disease they have with many diseases at a glance. Jiaoningsun was extremely satisfied and tried to check Xiaoha, who had been lying next to her on guard. Seeing that there were no lesions on its body, I patted its head with relief and went home together. At 9 o'clock in the morning, Jiaoningsun saw the wandering people coming and quickly went down to open the door. After they had loaded all the goods, Jiaoningsun said, "Uncle Du, come here in person today. I just have something to say to you." Du Kunpeng said with a smile, "Speak directly if you have anything to say. We have been cooperating for so long, so don't be coy." In recent months, Junhua has made a lot of money selling mushrooms, and his salary has also become much better, and his family's life has also improved to a higher level. Jiaoningsun nodded, "Okay, that's it. I will start school in September. After the school starts, my home will be far away from the school, so I may need to live on campus. I won't be able to go home every day, and I will only be able to go home on Saturdays and Sundays. I can't go home until now, so the mushroom business may not be available every day in September. But as long as I go home every Friday, I will contact you in advance and ask you to come and pick it up on Saturdays and Sundays." If possible, she would also like to sell mushrooms every day, making hundreds of thousands a day. But she is a student, so she has no choice but to earn less. Hearing this, Du Kunpeng had a serious expression on his face. "The summer vacation is about to end, I guessed it, but can't your family find any fungi?" Jiaoningsun said, "I can't find it. Only I can find it." "Okay," Du Kunpeng said, "you are still a child. You should have made a lot of money recently, and your family has land and a shop. You should really focus on your studies. If you have fungus in the future, just let me know. If you don't, it doesn't matter." Jiaoningsun said seriously, "Thank you, Uncle Du." Du Kunpeng said a few more words and planned to leave. As soon as he turned around, he touched his head. Jiaoningsun frowned and suddenly said, "Uncle Du, do you have a headache?" Du Kunpeng turned around again and said with embarrassment, "Did you see it? I made this mistake a month ago. Maybe it was because Jungsuan's business was good during this period. If I stayed up a few more nights, there shouldn't be any big problem." Jiaoningsun said seriously, "Uncle Du, I have taught myself ancient medicine and can read people's faces. If I say something bad, you should go to the hospital for a brain examination." Just now she used the clairvoyance formula to take a look and found that there was a small tumor in Du Kunpeng's brain. It was discovered early now, and there should be no problem after the surgery. But if we wait another half a year or a year to find out, the person will not be able to be saved. Although she can treat it, she still needs someone else to check it out. Only after the diagnosis is confirmed can she take action. What if others suspect her of cheating money in the future? Du Kunpeng saw her serious face and thought of his recent situation, hesitantly asked, "Is there something growing inside my head?" Chiao Ningxun said, "I'm not sure. You should take leave today to check." Du Kunpeng nodded and quickly left the Guo village. After arriving in the city, he immediately went to the #1 hospital for emergency treatment for examination. Chiao Ningxun could find so many fungi every day. He always felt that she was very evil, and he also felt that she might have some abilities. Don't be afraid of 10,000, just be afraid of the worst. It would be good for him to check. After waiting for a while, he went to the doctor with the test results. The emergency doctor looked at the report in front of him and said solemnly, "The situation is indeed not optimistic. Look here, there is a small tumor." Du Kunpeng suddenly felt like he was struck by thunder. It is indeed a tumor, and it can kill people. Chiao Ningxun is really amazing. You can actually tell at a glance that there is something wrong with his head. Du Kunpeng said anxiously, "Doctor, please save me, I can't die. I have an old and a young, and my whole family depends on me to support me. Nothing can happen to me." The emergency doctor said with relief, "Don't worry, we will do our best to save you. According to the examination results, your tumor is very small and it should be in the early stage. Your current symptoms are also very mild. You should be hospitalized now. Early treatment, early recovery." End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 149. Du Kunpeng hesitated and said, "Even if I undergo surgical resection, will it relapse in the future? I heard that there are risks in any surgery, let alone a fragile brain surgery. Is it possible that I will not be able to get off the operating table?" The doctor nodded, "Yes, brain surgery definitely requires anesthesia, and something may happen during anesthesia. If an accident occurs during the operation, something may happen. In addition, according to past cases, even if the operation is successful, there will indeed be problems in the future. The risk of recurrence and death after surgery is also a possibility. To put it bluntly, if you don't do surgery now, you may live longer than if you do surgery, but if you don't do surgery, you will definitely die." As a doctor, he did not hide anything from his patients and told him everything he could. Du Kunpeng's face suddenly became desperate. He asked some more questions and said that he wanted to discuss it with his family. He left Nanjing #1 hospital with a dejected face. His life has never been smooth. Finally, I met Chu Yanyi at a low point, and life began to go smoothly. He thought that his life would go smoothly, but he didn't expect that there would be such a big hardship waiting for him later. He checked online about brain tumors again. The more he looked at it, the more anxious he became, feeling as if he was going to die tomorrow. There was nothing he could do, so he went to other hospitals for examinations, but the results were the same. Some doctors even said that he only had 1 or 2 months to live. Just when he was about to faint from excitement, the phone rang. Seeing that it was his boss's call, he quickly answered the call. "Chu Yanyi, I heard that you have a brain tumor." Du Kunpeng. Should he cry or laugh? The boss personally cares about him. But how did the boss know that he was sick? Du Kunpeng, "Yes, boss, I may have to be hospitalized for surgery next, and I want to discuss it with you. While I am in the hospital, I would like you to send someone to inform me that I am on a business trip. I don't want my family to worry." Chu Yanyi downplayed, "Hospitalized? Is it necessary? As one of his people, even if he can't cure the disease and save people now, he won't die easily." Du Kunpeng, "Yes, The doctor said that I will die without surgery. I asked several hospitals and the results were the same. Chu Yanyi, go find Xiaoning Sun. She taught herself ancient medicine. She cured my old man's late-stage gastric cancer and not to mention brain tumors. Du Kunpeng was surprised when Chu Yanyi hung up the phone. Xiaoning Sun just glanced at him before and could tell that he was sick. She said that she had taught herself ancient medicine and cured Mr. Chu, so she must have some skills. He had also heard about Mr. Chu's illness. He heard that after he got sick, he sought medical treatment from all over the world, but he had no choice but to return to his hometown of Nanjing to wait for death. Thinking of this, hope instantly reignited in Du Kunpeng's eyes. The late stage of gastric cancer should be much more serious than his disease. Xiaoning Sun can definitely save him safely. He got in the car and was about to contact Xiaoning Sun and tell her that he would go find her immediately, when he saw Xiaoning Sun sending a long text, "Uncle Du, there is no need to worry about your illness. You will be cured within a month, there will be no danger. In order for you to live a good life in the future, you should go home and talk to your family first. It will only do you good, not bad." Du Kunpeng hesitated for a while. His wife only knew how to spend money on dressing up. She either went to the beauty salon every day or had afternoon tea with her sisters. Even the children were taken care of by a nanny every day. After talking to her, she probably felt as if the sky had fallen. He didn't want his wife to worry, but they were husband and wife, and if she didn't tell him, she would definitely not know how difficult it was for her. He got a brain tumor partly because he worked day and night to make money so that she could have money to spend. If she told her, she might slowly return to the family in the future, and it would be better for her children. Thinking of this, Du Kunpeng no longer hesitated and drove home quickly. Li Huiwei looked at the table full of food, took a deep breath, and nodded with satisfaction. "Auntie, your cooking skills are really getting better and better. It seems that my decision to eat at home today was really a wise move. As long as your wife likes to eat." Li Huiwei was about to take a bite of the food when she heard footsteps at the door, and she felt an ominous premonition in her heart. Du Kunpeng came to the living room and took a look at the food on the table. King crab, large abalone, Boston lobster, sea cucumber stewed morels, etc., as well as 3 side dishes, all of which were valuable. I knew that my wife was eating well at home, but I didn't expect it to be so good. He works in Junhang and eats mostly in the canteen. Occasionally he goes to the food court to hang out with his colleagues. My wife spends her money very quickly. Is it all spent on daily food and drink? Definitely is. He thought his wife was stealing from a man behind his back. Li Huiwei was startled when she saw her husband coming back suddenly. She glanced at the food on the table and then at a certain bedroom, and said uncomfortably, "Husband, you are back." Du Kunpeng sat across from Li Huiwei. He didn't notice his wife's expression and asked as usual, "Are there any guests at home today?" "No." "No," Li Huiwei asked, "didn't you never come back at noon before? Why did you suddenly come back at noon today?" Du Kunpeng sighed, "I have something to do. Fortunately, it's your meal time. I can replenish my body today. Let's eat first. I'll tell you after we finish." The nanny immediately arranged the dishes and chopsticks for the two of them. Li Huiwei glanced at the bedroom area and could only nod, "Okay." Du Kunpeng only thought she was worried about the children in the house and didn't care. Although he was sick, these things were good and he ate them with relish. After eating, Du Kunpeng solemnly said, "Huiwei, I have something to tell you." Li Huiwei rarely saw such a serious look on her husband's face. Her heart skipped a beat and she asked with an unnatural look on her face, "Tell me, don't be so serious. It's scary." Du Kunpeng said, "I can't be less serious about this matter." After saying that, he gave her all the examination reports he had done in the hospital. "Today I went to the hospital for a checkup. The results from several hospitals clearly showed that there is a tumor in my head. The doctor said that brain surgery is very risky, and I will most likely not be able to get off the operating table. But if I don't do it, surgery, I might not survive for a few months. That last sentence was something Jiaoningsun specifically called him later to ask him to say it on purpose. He didn't know her intention, but he believed that Jiaoningsun didn't just let him say it casually. Li Huiwei's pupil suddenly shrank, and she said with a sad face, how is this possible? Haven't you always been in good health? Brain tumor, if you are gone, what do you want me to do in the future? Du Kunpeng sighed, I just prepared for the worst, and I still have a lot of hope to survive. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 150. Li Huiwei burst into tears, husband, you must live well, or else, let me go with you to a big hospital in Beijing to have a look again? Our hospitals here are always inferior to those in Beijing. When Du Kunpeng saw his wife crying, he was very moved and said with relief, okay, don't cry. We are not bad in Nanjing. The doctors in Nanjing can save me. There is no need to run so far. The reason why I tell you is to let you know don't be so lavish in the future. If I die, if you save some of my savings, you can have food and clothing for a lifetime. But if you eat and drink like today, you will probably run out of money in a few years. Li Huiwei said, okay, I will listen to you. Du Kunpeng said a few more words and planned to leave. He opened the door and was about to change his shoes when suddenly a strong gust of wind blew and the door was closed again with a bang. He was about to open the door again when his wife said, Aunt Lu, go to the door and see if my husband has left. The Du family's house is very wide. The door is still some distance from the living room, and there are some partitions in the middle. Standing in the living room, there is no way to directly see the doorway. Aunt Lu is packing the leftovers from the host's lunch. These are good things. She wants to take them back to her children. Another aunt was also grabbing it. She was worried that if she walked past the door, all the food would be snatched by her colleagues. After all, the house was more than 200 square meters, and it would take a long time to walk there. So she said without raising her head, let's go, madam, don't worry. Li Huiwei felt relieved and immediately walked to the usually unoccupied guest room and opened the door. A man suddenly walked out of it. Seeing that the nanny had already started clearing the table, he said angrily, damn it, I finally came over to have a good meal with you, and they were all made according to my taste. It was in his mouth, it was really annoying. He was playing games in the room just now and was about to come out to see if the food was ready. Unexpectedly, he heard Du Kunpeng's voice as soon as he reached the door. There was no other way, so he could only hide in the house anxiously, hoping that Du Kunpeng would not find him. Du Kunpeng, who was about to reopen the door, was startled when he heard the unfamiliar voice and decided to quietly go over and wait and see what was going on with the man. Li Huiwei hugged the man's waist and said softly, okay, it won't take long for us to be together openly. The man asked, what do you mean? Li Huiwei told him that Du Kunpeng had a brain tumor. Li Huiwei said with a proud face, he is going to die soon, and I buy him a huge amount of accident insurance every year. When he dies, not only will his house be mine, his deposits will be mine, and the compensation will also be mine. Then we can live a better life. The man's eyes lit up, are you telling the truth? Really, really, so just stay aggrieved for a while longer. Okay, last time you went to a fortune teller and asked you not to get divorced. I was still surprised. It seemed that you were waiting for the day Du Kunpeng died. If you got divorced, how could you get all the houses and money of Du Kunpeng? Haha, God is really treating us. It's great. Yeah, I just have a favor that you have to do for me. What are you busy with, just say it. If Du Kunpeng undergoes surgery, it is still possible to succeed. It would be best if he does not get off the operating table. If he does, we will have to send him to heaven ourselves while he is in a coma. Okay, that's simple, but can you tell me how much the insurance you bought for him can cover? Li Huiwei stretched out her index finger and asked, so much, are you satisfied? The man asked in surprise, 100 million. Li Huiwei nodded. She bought several insurance companies. The man immediately straightened his back. God, in a short time, he will become a person with assets of hundreds of millions. The man suddenly picked up Li Huiwei and started spinning around, and said happily, that's great, wife, you are really my lucky star. Don't worry, I will be good to you in the future. Li Huiwei's waist was strangled very painfully, and she quickly motioned for him to put her down. Of course you have to be nice to me. For you, I betrayed my childhood sweetheart and got pregnant with your child. I was still thinking about when it seems unnecessary to have with him once. As long as he dies and we move to a place no one knows about, this child can live like a normal child in the future. The man kissed Li Huiwei and said, you're right, our family of 3, no, our family of 4 will have a better life in the future. He probably never dreamed that the eldest son he thought was actually my child. Li Huiwei said with a smile, yeah, he probably doesn't know that the only biological child he has is the daughter his dead ex-wife gave him. Every time he holds my son and kisses me, I think laughing at him, he is such an idiot, hugging someone else's son and kissing him so happily. Yes, he is just a fool. All his cleverness was spent on making money. The man didn't eat at noon, so he ordered loudly, Aunt Lu, make me 8 vegetables and 1 soup quickly. I want to celebrate. Make me another king crab in the refrigerator. I also want to eat gonbo mushrooms. Do it for me. Aunt Lu just happened to pack all the dishes. She curled her lips and had no choice but to go. Eat, 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 just know how to eat, sooner or later you will be eaten to death. Aunt Chen felt that the child was almost awake, so she went to make milk powder to feed the child. Du Kunpeng clenched his fists and was about to go out to catch when the man said again, in the future, I can finally come to see my son openly. It's really great. I don't have to hide anymore and I can be honest. Brightly let the child call me father. Li Huiwei smiled and said, yes, Du Kunpeng will never know that his favorite son is not his son. The two of them came to the sofa and wanted to intertwine. His son is actually not his child. Li Huiwei, you deceived me so miserably. Du Kunpeng stopped recording and sent a text message. At the same time, he took out the backup phone, put it in a hidden place, clicked on the video, walked to the living room with a sullen face, pulled up Li Huiwei who was lying on the man, slapped her mercilessly, and said angrily, you 2 adulterers have deceived me so badly. Li Huiwei was pulled up in confusion and was suddenly slapped again. She didn't react at first, but when she saw Du Kunpeng angrily appearing in front of her eyes, her whole body started to tremble. You are not. It's over, she's done today. Du Kunpeng sneered, I'm not leaving, right? Seeing that the situation was not good, the man rushed towards the door with large strides. I didn't expect that. As soon as I opened the door, 2 bodyguards in black blocked the person back and closed the door.